Everyone in the healthcare industry is talking about meaningful use, but what does it really mean? Well, if you're like me, then you've read hundreds of blog posts and articles full of technical jargon and countless acronyms, only to be left more confused than when you started. So let's just forget about all that for a minute and take a simple look at what all the talk is about. To demonstrate, I'd like to introduce you to Dr. X. Dr. X is just like many doctors in the US. He's still using an outdated paper chart system, he writes out prescriptions by hand, and he shares in the frustration of his staff over improperly filed or even lost charts. Dr. X and his staff are on board to make the switch from their paper system to electronic health records, so what's stopping them? Cost. The purchasing cost, the implementation cost, the training costs, and the redesigning workflow costs. So when Dr. X heard that the government was literally offering billions of dollars in incentives to promote the adoption of electronic health records, it was easy to understand his excitement. But before Dr. X celebrates too much, we should tell him that EHR adoption is only one piece of the puzzle. The goal of the program is not adoption alone, but rather the meaningful use of these EHRs. That means Dr. X can't just buy an EHR and forget about it. He has to show meaningful use. So there you have it. That's meaningful use. Did you get all that, Dr. X? Okay, let's help him out a little bit more. In its simplest terms, meaningful use is the adoption of certified EHR technology and its use to achieve specified objectives. Good catch, Dr. X. That's right. Dr. X can't just purchase any EHR, he must ensure that the technology has been certified by the appropriate body. And what about those objectives? Well, they include things like the entry of basic data, things like patients' vital signs, demographics, active medications, allergies, and so on. They also include using the records to enter clinical orders, and in particular, medication prescriptions, as well as providing patients with electronic versions of their health information. The final rules for the first stage of meaningful use, and yes, this is only stage 1 of 3, have been released and the push for EHR adoption has begun. So, if Dr. X wants to get his incentive money and not face penalties like a reduction in Medicare or Medicaid reimbursements, he'll need to implement an EHR system by 2015. Luckily, the actual incentive payments begin as early as 2011, so if he acts soon, he should be in line for some very early assistance. Simply put, the sooner he acts, the better. Dr. X can now begin the process of EHR adoption and achieving meaningful use. We'll be sure to check in with him on his journey, but for now, he has quite a bit of work to do with researching EHR systems and reading the final rules, so we'll let him get to it.